Hey guys, it's Becca. So I started this video in 2020. It is currently 2022, so it has been a hot minute since I made a video. A lot has happened around here. We moved again, there was COVID, and I started a new job, but the big fun update, a happy update, is this. I made this adorable baby. So I am finally getting back to the drawing board, and today I'm going to talk about two courses that I took on drapery and folds. One thing that became painfully obvious to me when I was studying in Rome was that I did not know how to draw clothed figures. If you're familiar with kind of traditional figure drawing classes, most of the time you are drawing from a nude model because that's how you learn anatomy, that's how you learn the musculature and the skeletal structure. But when it comes to, creating a character from your imagination, to drawing folds and clothing from imagination, I just had absolutely no visual library for that because I had never studied it before. The first class I took was through Society of Visual Storytelling. I've taken a couple other classes in the past. They're all really good. This one I finished in under a month, and they have a $25 a month subscription, so basically it costs about 25 bucks. The course is called How to Draw Dynamic Folds and Wrinkles with Atelier. She's a children's book illustrator. This course doesn't have any specific technical skill requirements, so you don't have to work digitally, you don't have to work traditionally. It's very good for beginners for that reason, and for me, because I have so little experience with fabric, I just wanted to do something that really eased myself in and kind of generally start observing fabric and getting a kind of idea of some of the things to look out for when you're drawing. This course touches on a variety of aspects of drawing fabric. They go over the basic anatomy of folds and how folds overlap, the different types of folds, focusing a little bit on some of the textures of different cloths and different materials. There's a section on how to indicate the human figure underneath the clothing and how those two things work together. And then there's a brief segment on gesture drawing and how fabric moves in gesture drawing. So for me, the benefit of these very general overarching 101 level classes is not to come away with any kind of specific skills or any mastery of any sort. It's just for me to familiarize myself with the material and to kind of pinpoint the areas where I feel like I need to study more. So if there's a particular fold that I'm not really understanding, if there's, for example, I can draw fabric from reference, but I can't draw it from imagination, then I can kind of work on those different elements and kind of deep dive into each area that I feel like I can work on. One thing that I knew I wanted to dive deeper into was understanding the 3D forms of fabric and rendering fabric. And that led me back to Atelier. So they have a master course that is a $50 a month subscription. Same thing, took me under a month, so it was 50 bucks. And it's with Erik, who I worked with back in the day. I've studied a lot from him. He's an amazing teacher. You're definitely going to get the most out of this class if you work traditionally with an Atelier style pencil. You could do it digitally, but it's really intended to be a traditional kind of charcoal style approach to study. You'll also definitely need kind of a basic understanding of human form and basic rendering 3D shapes. This is not an entry-level class. So the class is essentially a series of still life drawing demos that you then replicate in your own space. It's a deep dive into the 7 key folds, which I had actually learned about on a very basic level in Shauna's class. So these exercises involved much longer, fully rendered drawings of the fold where I was really thinking about the structure instead of just drawing what I was seeing. I found it super satisfying to set up my little still lifes, and it taught me so much about how to apply what I knew about rendering basic shapes to rendering fold and fabric. So the last thing is going to be a redemption challenge. So I picked this drawing that I did in Inktober a couple years ago that I really hated, and I'm going to give it another shot, and hopefully I will see some improvement based on some of the classes that I've taken recently. All right, wish me luck.